Hey, what's up? This is Todd Smith and I'm back with another video. I wanted to drop my first impressions on the Roland JD-Xi. This is by no means a new synth. It just recently arrived in my studio. I just released my first little live jam with it yesterday on this channel. And even though it's not a brand new synth, I still wanted to touch on my first impressions. Right out the gate, this is a budget synth, so it's not built like a tank. Very much a light plastic format. Even though it's plastic, the knobs and buttons feel very sturdy, but the keyboard is by far the weakest aspect of this machine when it comes to build. I mean, we're not even talking mini keys anymore. These are like micro keys, or these are very small keys. And they do offer velocity when recording, but I would definitely say it's not the best velocity in the world. If it's the first keyboard you've ever touched, or the first keyboard you own, it might not be that bad. You might not notice it that much. But with that being said, after the keys, pretty much everything else gets really good. As I stated, the knobs and the buttons feel pretty firm for a plastic piece. I will say some of the rubber buttons when it comes to editing within the sequencing, I have to hit them a couple times to register. I've been a few times I go to layer a snare, I press the button, it doesn't register. Maybe I didn't press it down far enough, but the second time or whatever, it'll kick in and it'll work fine. When it comes to the knobs and turning the knobs, they feel really nice. When I have a sound that has a nice good filter sweep or an acid sound that really rips into that filter, the knob really feels tight. And that aspect is pretty important to me because sometimes I have some pretty aggressive manipulation. Now we're going to touch on the live recording, step recording. I feel this is by far the strongest aspect of the JD. If you like that classic Roland grid style way of recording, you're most likely going to vibe with the JD-Xi. And when it comes down to the sound engine in this machine, it is actually pretty solid. And don't let the simple presets and the minimal number of knobs up front throw you off. There is a lot more settings in here you can access. There is a full synth under the hood. Yes, to access the majority of these settings, it is a menu dive. There is only a handful of settings on the front control, and even the envelope section is very limited within your front end knob control. To really get in there gritty, you're going to have to do a menu dive. Besides the keys, this is definitely the weakest aspect of the machine. I hear there's a software editor that can make this whole process easier if you're not into the menu dive, but when you look at the settings under the hood, there really is a lot there. I do wish they took a page from the microKORG and allowed direct battery charge within this machine. People have told me you can power it by USB and power bricks, but obviously you're going to need to bring the wire, the power brick. It'd be pretty nice to have the ability to pop just a few rechargeable batteries in there and just go. I spent the first couple nights exploring the workflow in terms of recording, and now the last few nights I've been kind of exploring the deeper aspects of the synth engine. I've been menu diving. You can really create some pretty cool sounds out of this, and I think I'm going to do a whole video where I'm just showcasing custom sounds that I dug out of the menu with this thing. The first track I played yesterday was pretty much all presets that you get with the machine. No deep menu diving, no deep manipulation. So I'm really amped to see how this thing evolves. My first impression on the JD is it still holds up today as a budget synth. It really is a nice little budget groovebox. And as always, stay positive, stay creative, support each other, and peace.